Yeah, BMRA is just hasta la vista, baby, right? Was there news on this BMRA? Yep.
Yes.
All right, BMRA still running here. Watch for this dollar. Looking nice. Might be worth a little dabble, do you, right? Remember, a dollar whole number. Looks like 22 million volume on 16 million float, which tells me you guys could probably comfortably get between 3,000 and 5,000 shares, and you would be okay to get in and out, just to give you some kind of a number. You guys are looking at the average true range, meaning what your mental stops are going to be, because we're in a pre-market and there are no physical stops. It's going to be between 5 and 8 cents. 10 cents on the long side. So if you guys were going to get into any of this, make sure you're going to have your stops set accordingly. Mental stops, because remember, no stops in the pre-market. This looks good. I might get in with this. Oh, missed that run. I'll take it there. Tried to get in. Did you guys see that right when I was about to buy shares and then it took off? We'll let it work its magic here at $1. See what it wants to do. If it pulls back to the 9, I can add in a little bit more, but I want to see this have a nice little initial pop. Only bought 5,000 shares. We'll let that run. There goes a nice little pop. Look at that. Getting a nice little pop here on this BMRA. Staying above $1. That's what we want to see with it, but lots of volume coming in. Still staying up nice and tall, still respecting the 9. This could pull back to the 9 as it naturally likes to do. We'll see. Like I said, I only got 5,000 shares. Know your risk before you get into these trades. The 5,000 shares, I've got a lot of wiggle room, and if I like what it's doing, I'll add 5,000 more. It's 9:10. We got about 20 minutes to the bell. All right, BMRA back here on the 9. I think I'm going to add a little bit. What am I in at? $1.03. I might add in here. Did it buy it? Hold on. All right, 10,000 shares sitting here at $1.02. Only liked it because it's sitting on this 9. I want to see if this can have a nice pop. We still have good volume. 27 million volume. Free float 16 million. Starting to pull back a little bit right here. Be careful. See if it can stay up above this 9. Massive run up. 176% today, though. This was beautiful. Right here is going to determine everything, right? Between this 9 and 21. BMRA is pulling back. Added a little bit more. Tried to add when it pulled back right here because it respected this area. So here we go. BMRA. See if we'll get a nice little pop. There it goes. Yep. Like it. There it goes. I'll take it. Did it sell it? There we go. Just made $851. Not bad for one trade in 4 minutes. I know it wasn't a massive move, but I put a little bit more weight in there, so it did not require me, right, obviously, to have that big of a move. If you guys look at it, my average price in that, I think it was like 98 cents. So from 98 cents to sold at $1.06, right? That was $850. Doesn't require a big move. I always say those 6-cent moves, right? That's how we got Jimmy up to his first $3 to $6 million is off of 6-cent moves, right? 6 cents. I can tell you right now that if this didn't start to make a move, I would have gotten rid of it within the next 2 to 3 minutes, right? I'm not even getting close to market open with it. The closer we get, the more dangerous it becomes, right? Eventually, people will want to exit before the market opens. So, but I just saw here, it had this beautiful run up. It was decent news. It was consolidating. It was respecting the 9. If you guys look at it, I saw it moving up on the 9. And then when it pulled back, this is where I tried to add in because it respected the 21. And then, of course, you guys all saw it live when we got the beautiful candle that I was looking for. It was really because it just stayed up. If this was a pop and drop quick, this would have drove way up. It would have came down. It have broke through here, and it'd have been lights out, and people would have been screaming and crying, and I would have got out and just said, okay, I'll just take the L. But that wasn't the case. It stayed up. When the stocks stay up nice and tall, like this is, then it's good. If the stock is staying up, that means buyers still want to get a hold of this thing, right? That's what you want to see.
Welcome to the Aftermarket. American Dream Trading. You have entered the Aftermarket. pitfallstrading.com. Welcome. You are now in the aftermarket.
Welcome to American Dream Trading's The Aftermarket Live Chat and Watch Party. I'm your host, Dawn, aka J&J Video Reacts. And this is a stream that's been created by traders, for traders, to kick back, relax, decompress, and talk about our day. Talk about the strategies that we learned from Chad W. Christian, who's a 33-year stock market veteran who has literally, and I mean literally, traded in every market condition imaginable. And that's the best thing about Coach is he teaches us how to do the same things. We know how to stop out the losers and let the runners run. Hopefully you guys had a green day today. I definitely had a green day. I love hot stock picks. I just do. I just love hot stock picks. If you want to know what hot stock picks are, go ahead and join American Dream Trading. The link is pinned to the top of the live chat. It is americandreamtrading.com, where you can save 25% by using code 2025. And go ahead and get signed up. You can get our VIP. You can get our new Diamond membership, which includes all of the services that we offer for a lifetime. You cannot beat that. But the 25% off applies to any first-time purchasers. So go ahead and get yourself signed up. Don't forget, we go live 3 times a day, 9 to 11. You can actually experience what it's like to learn from Coach directly yourself, because he's on 9 to 11 weekdays, and he has a live open mic where he interacts with us and trains us in our paper trading accounts right in front of your face. So you can't beat that. There's no coach out there that's going to let you speak to him directly and train you. He's not the one that's trading. Sometimes he does, though. He shows us how to get in and out of trades by trading his own account. So we learn a lot by watching him do that. So shout out to you, Coach. We love your face, and you are amazing. And thank you for changing our lives one trade at a time. Second link down there is the link to join the stream. If you want to join the stream, come up here on the panel, talk about your day. Tonight's topic is look, and I screwed up on the thumbnail. I left one of the overlays that I had in there, but I have it good on here, but I have to change it when the stream's over. So but chasing green versus avoiding the red. You know, a lot of us traders get caught up, and this is more for you new traders. Don't get caught up chasing the green and avoiding the red by panic selling. It's almost like a greed versus fear type of thing. You're chasing the green, but you're also fearful that you might lose. So, and you trade appropriately. So we're going to tackle that topic tonight on the aftermarket. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. And please share the video. That way we can get the content moved out there. Right now, we are pushing for 15,000 subscribers. And we are sitting at 13,103. We've broken the 13,1 mark. So 13.3, we've got less than 2,000 subscribers to go. Only 1,897, and we are at 15K. We can do it. I know we'll get it done. We've gotten this far, right? And then it's on to the big 20K, right? So let's keep going on ahead and sharing the video out. Let's keep getting people involved. Let's keep getting new members, new subscribers. You know, and we can get Coach to 15K. There's also the tip jar link down there. If you guys want to send a tip to the host, yours truly, I would greatly appreciate that. It's not mandatory, but it is appreciated. Helps me keep the lights on. Yeah, so let's get into it. Let me go ahead and say hi to our awesome people who are down there in the live chat. James L., what's going on, brother? Maria, I see you. Steve, he said, "Where's Dawn? I thought this started 10 minutes ago." Yeah, it's been on. It's been on. We started. We got on here, man. We like to play a little bit of videos and show a couple of the thumbnails first while people file in. Ish. Maria. Bucko, what's going on, brother? How are you? Bucko is our newest moderator. F2's down there. Genetics. I get it. Genetics. Wait a minute. Genetics. I mean, did I just get that? Like a year later. What do they do? The memes are 1 hour later. Dude, genetics, get it? GENETICX, but she did a play on words. I like that. I feel so stupid. I'm just getting that. Because my eyes, I'm thinking natrix and netrix, and I don't know why I put an R in there. And then now I just said it, and I'm like, wait a minute, genetics. Jeanette Tick. You're genius. You're a genius. I love it. I love it. Carol and Derek, what's going on? I hope everybody had a fabulous day too, Maria. I hope you guys were green today. I hope you were green. Future traders down there. What up, Future? With the excellent call outs in the wee hours of the AM. The handy homeowner, what's going on? IWM was crazy today. Was it? I didn't look at IWM. I have not been looking at IWM because IWM is chop suey to me anymore. Every time I look at it, and I did glance at it, and the very beginning of the market, it was flat, but it was just choppy flat. So I immediately went off of it and started looking at SPY. Coach is really on SPY this morning, so I started looking at that. Freddie the Freeloader, what's going on, buddy? He said it was a green day, so that was good. All right, Freddie the Freeloader had a green day. Good job, Green Freddie. Freddie the Green Loader. Way to go, Freddie. Mikey D, Sweet Tea, how art thou? Maria said, yes, it was. I pretty much stopped trying to trade. No way! So did I. I don't even have to finish that. So did I. I don't like IWM anymore. I really don't. And I used to compare it to SPY a lot because they run concurrent, but SPY makes more definitive moves where IWM makes the same move, but not as assertive like SPY. Like, right, if they're both dropping, SPY will go stepping down like that, and IWM will go a few down and maybe go up a little bit and then come down a little bit more. Whereas SPY's like down. You know what I mean? So SPY makes a lot more definitive of a move, but IWM kind of hems and haws, drags a little bit, but eventually will catch up to that trend. I'm like, I'd rather just go with SPY. It's not that much more expensive anyway. So she said at first it was good, but it wasn't. But it went downhill. I ended up okay on it today. I really love it. I know you are into some Apple lately, right? Pebbles, what's going on, brother? He said green again today. Pebbles, man, you are getting extremely consistent. Good for you, Pebbles. Way to go, my brother. The handy homemaker. Agree about IWM. It has its moments. It seems they all do. That's true. That's true. You can catch any of these stocks on any given day, and they're choppy as hell, or they are paying. So, it's just a matter of what stock wants to show out when. They all have moments where they run, and I mean run. Look at Google and Amazon today, and that's two stocks that usually run concurrent too. If you see Amazon running, usually Google is running in the same direction and with the same type of pattern. Like the way they just stair stepped up, I noticed that there's a lot of correlation between Google and Amazon. They definitely run concurrent. Sometimes they do separate. Google may be going up when Google may zig when Amazon zags, but it's not that often. Usually they'll run mirroring each other. Handy Homemaker says he's been killing Soxol and Soxis lately, scalping a double bottom scalping a double bottom as we speak. Get it, brother. Get that money. No more Dunkin' Donuts for me, man. Only Diesel Dan. Diesel Dan, thank you for the tip last night. I appreciate it, brother. Diesel Dan is up in the house with the wrench. That's right. But hey, Bucko. Oh shit, Bucko. You know what? Hold on. Let me hook you up. Hold on. Let me hook thou up. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves just for a minute. We got to get Bucko hooked up with the wrench here. With great power comes great responsibility. And right now, I'm responsible for making Bucko a mod. Okay. Okay, Bucko, do me a favor. Type something in so I can make sure the wrench took. Come on, bro. Let's see the name in blue. Let's see it. I'm excited for you. Throw a peace sign up or something. Bucko 504 calling Bucko 504. We need you to type in the chat. We need you to type in the. There he is. There he is. All right, let's get out of that zone. I was coach for 2 seconds. Now let's go back to being moi. Meow. Meow. All right. Whoops. Hold on 1 second. I think I'm back me. Okay. All right, there we go. You're all set up. Mod. You mod. You mod you. I'm loving the peace sign. Throw up a peace sign. He actually did it. I thought you were going to do the 2 fingers. What's up, Steve? IWM doesn't have as much volume. Right. That's why. That would explain why it doesn't move like SPY, obviously, right? Especially in the midday. So it acts like a low free float. Or a high free float, right? It takes a lot of volume to move a high free float. I love lower free floats as long as they have the volume. Jeanette, are you talking to me there where you did? I'm like, finally got it. That took like a year. I've been saying it so long. It's like weird. Dawn, love your show. Thank you, Carolyn. Honey, thank you. Appreciate you. All right, Jay said she was green today. Way to go. Okay, so the topic of conversation is chasing green versus avoiding the red, right? And I want to welcome everybody to the show. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for being here and always being here. All right, so chasing green. Focus on how greed and overconfidence can lead to an over trading or poor decisions when trying to maximize profits. All right, so basically she's saying, and I refer to it as a she because I've got an English woman as my chat GPT. She's so awesome. I named her Val. I think her name was already Val, but anyway, Vale, or something like that. But you know, it's true because we all experienced that, the whole chasing green thing. Now, we had a young man come on the stream this afternoon, come on the Zoom call, and you all heard him, and we all kind of offered our little tidbits of advice to him. But one thing that he said was, I just want to get in here and, you know, get going quickly. You know, I don't have 2 years to put into this, or I don't want to put 2 years into this. He's dedicating his time, but I don't want it to take 2 years. And here's the thing, to that I say, you know, you can't chase green first and foremost. You can't worry about profits because that could only mean I want to get profitable fast. That's all that means. That does not happen, right? So for that gentleman and for all new traders, you know, there's quite a few of us that have been in here for a while, and we have learned, some of us the hard way. Wait a minute. Of course, that was a piece of grape, right? That you cannot chase green. You have to chase the process. You have to chase not over trading. You have to chase mental stillness when you're trading. And that's kind of hard to do, but you have to do it, especially in the midst of call outs. Things are exciting. You know, coach is very magnetic. He can get you to, you know, go look at stocks and things like that, and people are calling things out, and you've got the excitement going on, and it's, oh, look at this one, look at that one, look at that one, this one's running, that one's running, this one's to the moon, this one's tanking, this one's doing that. You got to learn how to be still and not chase. You got to learn how to, if you have to, do that, right? If you need to get rid of your headset or mute for just a few minutes just so you can kind of get your head straight, then do what you have to do in the privacy of your space there, because none of us are there with you. None of us are there to put your hand on the mouse and say, take this trade, or pull your hand off the mouse if you're over trading. So don't, when you hear call outs, don't chase the green, don't chase the money. This is going to sound weird, but money should be the furthest thing from your mind when you are starting out. Train more, trade less. And when you are trading, you should be trading strictly to hone the process, not chasing profits, chasing green. Don't do that, because all that does is have you end up chasing your bank account because your money is running out the window, right? It has you chasing your green because it's running away from you, right? So I started picturing a video. But yeah, it has you chasing your money because it's gone, right? So you got to learn how to hone in your mentality when it comes to chasing green. You got to chase the process. And a good way to chase the process is to come show up at 4 o'clock in the morning in the pre-market. We do a lot of training in the pre-market. We're in there with millionaires in the room that are showing us how they trade and are explaining their trading to us. We've got very experienced traders in there as well that will help you. Okay. So come to the pre-market. If you're a VIP, if you're a gold VIP, you should be in the pre-market. You really should. We get a lot of learning going on in there. And when there's low volume, we have good conversations. So chasing green is not what you want to do. Avoiding red. So in this part of the conversation, we're going to highlight fear of losses, how fear of losses basically colors your trading, right? So there's the opposite of chasing the green. There is, I'm not going to trade at all because I lost yesterday and I lost the day before that. So I'm afraid. Or if you go into a trade, not necessarily that you're afraid, because if you're having red days, you shouldn't be trading. But if you're in a trade, all of a sudden, the trade's going your way and it's going. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, I don't want to lose it. So I'm going to go ahead and get out. You don't even scale out. You just get completely out, right? Forget the shedding, forget all that. You get out and you don't let the runner run and pay you, right? But then that doesn't solve anything, because then you're not really maximizing what's supposed to be happening with that trade, right? And this is different from chasing the green. It's like, I don't want to be greedy. There's a difference between being greedy and letting a trade play out, right? If you're seeing, greed is when the trade is clearly showing you something different, right? Now, let's just say you're in a call, it's above VWAP, it's stair stepping up, and everything's over everything, and it's just running, right? But then all of a sudden it starts to go sideways, and you might get a doji or two. Greed is staying in that trade thinking it's going to continue up. Greed is when that trade begins to go against you, staying in it thinking it's going to reverse and go back in your direction. That's greed, right? But if you're in that trade and it's still going and that's not happening, that's not greed. That's letting a trade play out because it's not telling you to get out. When you see that other stuff happening, that's when you go ahead and you start making your way to scale out and drop off 50% or whatever percent that you're using, right? So there's a difference. Greed is hopium when the trade's going against you. Letting the trade play out is a smart play. All right, we got somebody in the backstage. We had somebody in the backstage. They're gone now. So you know what I mean? You don't want to, and whoever you were, you can come on back. I don't know what happened there, but, that's what happens when you have fear in your heart. And even maybe but here's the thing, it wasn't the market that made you do that, it was you that made you do that. So all you got to do is make sure you journal it so that the next time you go in for a trade and you see something like that happening, you're not making the same mistake over and over and over. And if you keep doing that, once again, that's on you. You are in control. You are the one that has the power to say, hey, I recognize that this is doing something different. Let me scale out of this. Let me go ahead and take some cookie, eat some cookie, get out of this, take some profit, because it may be setting up for a reversal, in which case then you get completely out, right? So, learn how not to chase the green and overtrade and be greedy and do things like what we just said, stay in losing trades, right? And avoid being the person who avoids the red by not letting the runners run and getting out way too early, or not getting in a trade at all if you're seeing a proper setup. And if you don't know what a setup looks like, you shouldn't be trading, right? Let me know what you guys think about those comments. And do you have anything that you want to offer? Come on up here on the panel, somebody. Let me know what you guys think about that. Wife just got home with a car full of Full of what? OG baby. OG baby donations. Have my hands full. Okay. What's up, Kyle? Darn cricket. What's happening? Gilly, are you in the live chat? You have to kick the shit out of your demons. Yes, you do, brother. Yes, you do. And only you can do that. Coach can't kick our demons' ass. We have to do it. And guess who our demons are? Us, us. Me, myself, and I. Those are my demons. Right? Because I'm the one that's doing dumb shit, right? When I do it. You know, you got to get to a point where you are doing proper risk management more than you're worried about losing, making money. You know, when you couple the process with proper risk management, you should do what coach says. Either you're making money or you're breaking even, but you're at least not losing. And if you are losing, you're going in with a small position size, right? So you're not losing that much. Right? There's a method to this madness. You guys hear this shit over and over and over and over and over and over. It should begin to resonate at some point. This is really, when you hone in, it's not that hard. All you're doing is fighting what's going on within you. Learn how to trade from within and stop listening to everything out here that's not coach's voice or somebody that is not an authority, like a government cheese, like a Mark McSee, like me. You know what I mean? I know how this shit works. So if I'm giving you advice, you should take that, because I've been through a lot of stuff in here in 2 years and I've seen a lot of shit. So, and I've done a lot of dumb shit and a lot of good shit. So you've got to listen to the people that are there. Bruno, Palm Coast, you know, Richard, you know, when we're telling you stuff, you got to run with that. And, you know, there's a lot of people in here to help you when coach has finished for the day that you can listen to. And then when coach is in there, listen to the sound of coach's voice. Use your resources. All right. We got Pebbles on the panel. What's up, Pebbles? Good job today being green, buddy.
Yeah, this is a good topic because I was trading NVIDIA today, and it started going sideways, and it was kind of going sideways for a while, and you know I was sitting there with a profit, and I thought, geez, it started going sideways, you know, like almost like a VWAP, but it wasn't. You know, it was way above the V. I got cold feet, and I thought, well, I'll just take the profit. Well, I sold everything, and 30 seconds later, she went up $2. You know, I should have just called something, but you know, live and learn, I guess.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I haven't learned much, I guess. But
you said it, I didn't.
I know. At least I'm starting to make green here, so.
I've been through the same thing, Pebbles. It's like some stuff resonates. You've heard it, but it doesn't really resonate until you've done it a couple of times and beat your own self up, right?
Well, when you haven't had any wins, you know, or very few wins, you know, I'm taking a win.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'd rather you do that than you would have taken a green trade, right? So I don't get pissed at people for taking some green, right? And if you took too much green and you got completely out before your time, at least you came out of it green, but you learned for the next time, hey, I need to shed because I may be missing an opportunity here, you know?
The next two I did shed on, so.
There you go.
So it was good there.
You learned from your mistake there. Maria Forrest.
And then I thought I would do a couple more, you know, but then, but then I've got my rules. So my rules are, you know, I've only got so much to play with here, and if I go into another stock, then I have a good chance of blowing my rules. So I quit and went back to paper trading.
Okay.
I did well in paper trading, so but
Awesome.
I stayed in longer on the trades. Uh, in the morning when I'm on and you're doing all your call outs and stuff like that. Uh, for me, sometimes it's better just to watch it. I try to play them once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
but then you guys are scalping, and in the real market, I'm not scalping. I'm playing the 2 minute EWO,
Mm-hmm.
and so I end up playing the 2 minute EWO. But you really can't do that because you never see the 2 minute, the signal.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to step in and play it from there. But then I will play it longer generally, um, just practicing that way.
Yeah.
But
And in the afternoons, you can practice with the EWO, even on the hot stock picks, even though you really don't want to stay in them as long. They're not as volatile in the afternoon as they are in the morning. So you can flip your screen to a 2 minute and follow the 2 minute EWO and see if you can't catch one running for a little while. Because we've had them that ran for quite some time. So
like Apple today, that would have been a good play. They ran all day.
For sure.
Well, there's only 12,000 stocks to look at, and
Only.
I have my little pile that I look at. It's real hard finding one that's coming into entering at 2 minute or a 2 candle EWO and hitting it. I'm looking all over the place, but I find them once in a while. But I found 3 today. That was good enough. So
yeah, that's good.
But,
and 2 to 3 trades a day is great, for a not scalper. If you're playing the EWO, you're not going to get many more plays than that, in my opinion, unless you're playing multiple stocks at a time, which I am incapable of, just because I did actually have 2 going at the same time today, but they were both going up. I cannot play a put and a call at the same time. I get so confused, and it's embarrassing. I'm like, why is this hard for me? Like, I taught math. This should not be difficult, but no, it is. It's like, do I want it to go up? Wait, what on the level 2? What am I looking at? Like, I cannot do it. Cannot.
Yeah, I agree with that, Maria. That is tough.
Man, I've done that. I've had that happen with Google and Amazon. Speaking of them earlier, where one was going up and one was going down, or SPY's going down and Tesla's going up. And it's challenging for sure.
Well, I wanted to speak to what you were saying earlier about time. And I do think of this as like an education, as a college degree or an education of a higher level. It's not simple. It's like, first of all, it's a language immersion program because who knows what all these words mean when you walk in the door, And second, it's mathematical, just as far as like visual, spatial, and there's a lot. And then there's a skill set, and there's mechanics, and there's your platform restriction. Like, it's a lot. So, I mean, when
and the psychology.
Oh yeah,
and psychology is like
that's
90%
a whole
of
other
it.
box of worms. You're right.
Right.
But when you go to college, you're on a 4-year or 2-year plan, and you can't skip. Like, as a freshman, I couldn't take my major classes, like classes. I had to take all these prerequisites, whether I thought I needed them or not.
Yep.
I had to take them. They were mandatory. There was no, oh yeah, you're right, you got this. No. And there's a sequential order to things. And I understand we all want to beat the system, right? I mean, who doesn't? Sounds great. But we end up beating ourselves.
Yep.
and
Good point.
beating ourselves up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And
there's a
nobody's going to make
reason-
you follow the rules except the market. It will spank you. No one
You'll get
else
hung
in
with
the
your
place,
bullet.
but the
Right.
That
market
will
will
make
spank
you
you.
follow the rules.
And
Right.
and I
And-
almost feel bad. I almost feel bad for the new guy or other new people because I'm like, man, you don't know the suffering you're about to endure, you know?
I
Because
know.
this is freaking crazy how hard it can be at times for all the different reasons, you know?
Right.
I was thinking about that last night when Ange was talking about that, and I'm like, she's kind of been low key going through something. You could read between the lines and tell she wasn't, she's been going through a little bit of a challenge, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, here it is. And
I was wondering because she kind of
She had a
got
fabulous day
quiet, right?
today.
yeah, and I'm loving the fact that she is back owning as government chief says, what brought her to the party.
Yeah,
You know what I
she's
mean?
so awesome. Good for her.
She is, and she's going to be successful because you can't be
Yeah.
that successful for that long, and then it just goes completely out of your head.
No, right. She just in a little slump, had to figure herself out a little bit again, you know?
Yeah. You want them to survive the slump.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And not lose it and be like, damn, I thought I had this. I guess not. And walk away from it. So I'm glad she's
right.
Yeah. I'm
but
glad
I just
she's
was
not.
trying to say, like, there's incremental points. Like, there's things you have to do before you do. And we can't make you do those things, obviously. Nobody can. No matter how many people got on the mic today and were like, time, screen time, videos, blah, blah, blah. We can't enforce that. You know what I mean?
I know.
You're a grown
I know.
man.
And that's why I'm so fearful for his poor butt getting spanked because it's coming. You know?
You guys know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
But
yeah.
all I'm saying is that, like,
really, it's everybody,
take it
every new person.
seriously, like it is an education, like, because you are going to pay for it one way or another.
That's right.
You can only pay coach, or you can pay coach and the market. You decide.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like,
you know what? I was proud of that guy though, because
yeah.
you heard it in his voice. He got the message, and I was proud of this group because we came at him in such a way that he was like, "Damn, okay, this is a real group." You know, he's
also
like,
proud
right.
Yeah,
of his
he's like,
follow-up questions later in the day. You could tell
Yeah.
he
Right.
wasn't like scared. Oh no, I'm not talking anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
he almost came in kind of hot, like, all right, I want to learn this. I ain't got time for bullshit. And we were like, slow your roll, bro. Slow your roll. You know, it ain't gonna happen like
I ain't
that.
sugarcoating nothing.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen like that.
Yeah, you gotta save his ass. You know what I mean? We can keep him from sticking that fork in the electrical outlet. You know?
Right. And you can tell he got the message. He was like,
I hope so.
You guys are right. You guys are right. This sounds
Well,
like a real group.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
You know, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully he won't, be on here like, blew my account up for the third time.
Well, the whole prop firm thing is another weird thing. I'm sorry, Maria. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to mention because he's using that prop firm, so maybe since it's not his own money, he's more willing to mess it up, you know, or less willing to make sure he doesn't. I don't know, but hey, every new person, same thing. You know, we got to learn and pay one way or another. Go ahead, Maria.
I was just gonna say, Pebbles, the call out thing, dude. It even like, okay, were you on this morning when I called out one and coach was like, I'm getting it, and I was like, I literally am sitting there like, you better go up, you stock. My coach got in this. I mean, I was freaking out.
Oh, that was funny. But it did. It turned right around and jetted.
It did. But I'm just saying, it is nerve wracking to even call a stock, like, because you'll see it and it is getting volume and it looks good, but it might not. You know what I mean? It might stall out, and I've literally called one out, and then 3 minutes later, it's been lower than it was at the start of the morning. You know, and so it is.
Oh yeah.
It happens.
But it's up to us to identify them. And Pebbles, I'm a 2-minute EWO player also, and I've told Nate before, I don't get in a lot of my call outs just because I am afraid I won't get out. Like, I know me, I'm trying to meet the family. bake cakes and like, put a wreath on the door. And so I don't get in a lot of them, but I do try to at least recognize. I do try to look for news. You know what I mean? Like I try to, and it is fun to me. And I
You
play them
gotta
out on
set
paper.
people up for success when you call stuff out,
Dude,
and
so many call outs are too late.
Right.
yeah.
Which is why I try to call them out when they're on the bottom of the L2, which is what Ange taught me. But
Yeah.
sometimes those don't ever reach the top of the L2. That's the
Well,
problem.
I'm so
Yeah.
slow that by the time I get in, it's probably going to go the other way.
Well, see, and that's the thing. When we get in, we can recognize that, hey, everything is under VWAP. So chances are, like, Government Chief says, if you're getting in and it's running, make sure you are ready and you got your hand on that trigger because it could pull back at any moment. As long as we keep reiterating that and people recognize that when they see it, it's up to them to use their own minds to say, okay, you know what? Am I going to chase this? Am I going to get into this? Or am I going to hold off and wait for it to do a little bit of dropping and retracing before I try to get in it?
And that was the key part, Dawn. And that's what Nate taught us. Let it settle. Yes,
Yep.
The first bounce might be the best bounce, but that doesn't mean there won't be another bounce. You know what I mean? Like, the first bounce might be the quickest, like, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
there could be, and we've seen it over and over again. It's not a call out to get in it. It's a call out to keep an eye on it, which was why we always type in the chat on watch, because it's not like, yes, prime, or I'll tell Nate, it's cooking.
It's cooking, right?
It's cooking.
It's cooking in the oven. It's not quite done yet. Not quite ready to put on the plate yet, but it's cooking. Yep.
Yeah, with the call outs, if I'm not in something, I'll take a look at whatever was called out, but just to see. But somebody's, it's got to be before the move, before it gets to the double bottom and starts bouncing. Because once it's, you know what I mean? You call out double bottom and then that first candle back up. It's like, well, it doesn't do me any good,
And you could also use the trick that I do in my paper trading account is if I do get in it, I look at the numbers first to see what kind of volume it's got, and then I look at the free float. If it's a high volume and a low free float and it's past its average volume, I'll jump in it, but I'll jump in it really low, a ridiculously low number, so that it can, if it's going to drop, hey, I'm down here waiting for it. If it goes back up, I'm already in the trade. I don't have to set that up. So all I got to do is move my thing up and catch it, at its lowest point up at the top. It works like a freaking charm. Either way, you don't get stabbed by the knife drop and you don't miss the run. It's
very nice.
It works. It works. If you guys can kind of play with that, you won't miss runners and you won't get caught with knife drops, because either way you're going to be in a position to handle either one of them.
I'll have to play with that one, I guess.
Yeah, you got to play with that. Look at the L2 and just pick a spot low as hell on the L2. Go ahead and set up a limit buy and get into it. And of course, it's going to ask you to, this is really low. It's nowhere near that. Confirm it. Yeah, I know. Confirm it. Go ahead and get in at a very low spot. And that way, when it starts hemming and hawing and starts volumes dropping out of it, and it looks like it's not going to, head up, you're already down there waiting for it with a very low position, a couple of shares. That way, if it continues to drop because it reached you, if you decide to stay in it, because you can always do that too. Like, damn, it came all the way back down here. Do I even want to stay in this? But if you're in at a very low position size, if it continues to drop, just get the hell out of it and you only lost a buck or two, right? But if it picks you up and then says, okay, yeah, I'm done dropping. This was the level that I needed to be at. I'm ready to go up. Look how much money you're making from that point.
And then
because you got it so low. Yes, absolutely. It works. It really does. Who we got coming in? Oh, it is our girl. Hey, we just talked about you.
Hi.
What's happening? Yeah.
Sweet.
What's happening with you? Thank you again for today. I can't thank you enough.
Yeah, no problem.
Because a few workouts are back in my life. Yay.
Yeah. I'm always around to help, right? Like, people just have to remember to ask.
Loved it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, your turn.
Yeah, which is super funny, right? Like, so I haven't done anything with hot stocks since September. All right, I think that sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was September. So it was like looking at something incredibly foreign.
Really?
So
You messed with it today?
what?
You messed with it today?
I didn't. No, but I did sit there and just kind of get back into my old roots, right? Where I'm like, okay, well now I got to remember how to do this, like, and it's interesting, and I've said it before. After being in futures for so long, going back into the pre-market,
Yeah.
it's really slow.
Ah,
That is so interesting, Ange.
It is really slow. But then, like, toward the end of the morning, like, I was like, oh, like, there's that small part of me where I was almost convinced to open up my cash account again and start with $500 and do it again.
really?
Yeah. I mean, I already do like futures at night. So I don't have distractions and stuff like that. But then
Yeah.
it's like, well, I did it once before.
Mark's
hey,
trading them at night too, isn't he?
Bad influence.
Pre-market? No, I would just do, if I did, it'd just be hot stocks in the morning. Like, I got to give myself a little bit of a break.
Did you get in anything this afternoon? Because I was like, yes, like old times, let's go.
No, I didn't this afternoon. No, I haven't put any money back in my cash account. I have everything in my futures and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, this morning I'm like, oh yeah, I remember how to do this. Like, I'm scoping through the watch list, watching for the pops, and I'm like, toward the, about an hour in, I'm like, oh yeah, here's one. Like, I pull it up and it's starting to go, and I'm like, okay, yeah, like, I do remember how to do this.
Oh, that's fun.
But you know what, Ange? That might be something that will help you over in futures to get your old roots back going and practice some scalping the hot stock picks. And the fact that it's slower is even better. You know what I mean? Because then you can go back over, use it for practice sessions.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and I do the same thing with crypto. So I follow crypto on a couple on TradingView, and so like over the weekend, I actually go and I practice with the live crypto, because then I can get that better feel for than what I can if I'm doing a replay. I mean, it's better, but it's not quite the same. So I can do the same thing. I mean, a chart's a chart, so it doesn't really matter. And I mean, I find crypto to be incredibly volatile and very interesting throughout the day, 24/7. It doesn't matter when. But I was using those to just work on my scalping over the weekend, so I didn't have to do the replays.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that worked out really great too. And I'm like, over the weekend, I'm like, well, what are you doing in the paper side of crypto when you could do that on the weekends too? And I'm like, you know what? No. No.
So it is addicting.
Just got to do that on paper for practice purposes only.
Yeah, I was scalping XRP like a weekend ago, and I'm like, just some small amounts because it's like only a couple bucks. So I was getting like 5 or 10 shares, and well, no, that weekend I was doing like 100 or 200 because I had some extra cash. So I was making like $10 every time I did it. So I'm like, wow, I can mess around with this and scalp this. And then when it dropped, I just kind of got out of it and left it alone. But I'm like,
so Dawn,
it's scalpable.
Were you doing that on Robinhood?
I was.
Do they not give you? I mean, I haven't tried it yet, but in the past, I got such shitty fills in and out.
Yeah, because Christina put me down with that. They take a little piece of money. Okay. They take a little something. So it's a couple bucks.
And you have to be able to account for that on the.
You do.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I just been paper trading it.
Yep. Because I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't get in at that, but it's like I'm already down like a couple of bucks when I get in it. And I'm like, oh, that's what's happening. They're taking their, their little fees or whatever they're doing. But yeah, that definitely happens.
Yeah, Webull gets their fees too, believe me, with the fills, on a market buy or sell. They're taking a piece of that. I'm pretty convinced. There's some fills that are just ridiculous.
I don't buy anything or sell anything at market, but I'm not a scalper, so I guess that's why. I don't know. I'm all
Even if it was just a little bit off of each one, it wouldn't take much.
Well, yeah, I remember one time I sold something at market, and I was like, it never even was that, or bought something, and I was in like at an all-time high, like that it had never reached. You know what I mean? Like,
right, exactly.
Yeah,
that's like one of the
I'm like, wait a minute.
That's one of the worst.
When I bought it. How the hell are you filling me at that? I didn't even see it get to that price.
The math is not mathing at all. And,
I try real hard to use last and mid so that I can, be at least within a range of crappy fill.
Right, that's true. I'm all about limit.
Yeah, Andrew,
right,
the topic tonight that we're talking about, chasing green versus avoiding the red.
What about it?
Well, have you experienced doing that in futures?
Chasing red?
Well, you want to chase
avoiding red.
Avoiding red.
Avoiding red. Yeah. Yeah, of course. It's easy to do with futures because you have the option to have a small margin account.
Yeah.
Where you can get in and out as many times as you want to. So you can chase it. And that's been like one of the most eye-opening things for me too. Is it wasn't that I was intentionally trying to swing for the fences. It was it exists and you can see it happening, but until you understand how the futures itself runs and how it feels, like we talk about the people that play Apple all the time, they know the ins and outs of how Apple operates. The same with those that do SPY too. That goes the same for futures, right? Oil has its own life. Gold has its own rigmarole. MES, same way. M2K, all those have their own personality. Use personality.
Yeah, right.
So you got to know those things too. So yeah, you take the green. You take the green.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard Mark say it a million times too. That's what he was doing, and I don't know why one day. And for me, I like to chase the good setups. But you can fall into a trap where when you're chasing those perfect setups, you're sometimes missing out on the fruit of the trade because you're waiting for it, right? When you already know that you can see the setup happening and you can get into it sooner, right? So yeah, no, I go into every night like I'm actively watching the market already. It's after 5 o'clock, so I'm watching the charts already to watch for movers for the evening hour and preparing my night, to scalp what I can out of the market. And I'm going to take that green, and I'm going to do what I need to. And when I'm done, I'm going to call it good. And
so what time will you finish tonight?
Well, it just depends. If the futures live chat is active, I'll stay in it until it dies off. I'm in Central Time, so it gets pretty quiet for me around 9 o'clock and stuff. And if I don't have anything active going on around me, I get bored with it, and so then I lose interest, and so then I would just be done. And but ideally for me, like my trading hours would be from 6 p.m. Central Standard Time until 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then that's my goal, is to get my fragment down into those hours, and meet my goals by the end of the night and be done. And then that's my trading for the day.
Nice. That's
And
awesome. So you're saying that the hot stock picks move much slower. How fast does futures move? Like, what do you mean it's faster? Like, talk to me about that. What
so
does that mean?
it just depends on the time of day that it is too, right? Like, so in the evening, they typically are a little bit slower. I say typically loosely because you never really know for sure. There could be news catalysts, it could just be a pretty active night in the market. So it really just kind of depends on what active is for you, right? So what might seem super active for me may be hella slow for you. But in the evening time, it does seem like the futures run a little bit on a slower scale that remind you of more of a pre-market. Mark said that. I've heard him say it before too, and I would agree with him.
Yeah.
So I definitely would agree with that. But when you get into the open market, around 8 a.m. Eastern, well, 7 a.m. Eastern, or wait, no, 7. So 8 a.m. Eastern time, it really starts to pick up. And when I say it picks up, for those who are familiar with using the L2, it's sometimes really hard to follow. It's that active. So I had to switch how I do things a little bit too, where I don't necessarily pay as much attention to the L2 as I once did. I rely heavily on my charting and, the candle formations, reversals, and things like that. So I have to pay attention a little bit more closely to how those things run. Now, using the L2 in conjunction with that is still a great tool. But I find that my charting, and not to toot my own horn, but my charting is that good where you can look over at the L2 and you got your validation points where things are lining up just as they should. So I do believe that it is slower definitely in the evening time than say during the day. I get chopped up during the day. And so if I'm going to take a trade during the day, which I did a few today, not too many, but I did a couple, those were perfect setups. The 9 aligned with the 21, the 55, we were above VWAP and some of those, and they were perfect setups. So it was a no-brainer to get into those, and
So
then there were, I
mean?
just walked through it and watched it. I didn't get in.
That's awesome.
What do you mean you got chopped up? Because, like, I hear people say that in contracts, and that makes sense because of all the Greeks. But when you say that in shares or you say that in futures, what do you mean? Like, how?
Does it whipsaw? Is it that fast? Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, the wicks are deadly.
Okay.
With the stop losses, like in futures, they use ticks. So, like,
Right.
what might be a standard, stop loss for someone that might be, we'll say 15, maybe 15 ticks. You almost need a 30 to 35 tick, and you have to be able to support that loss if it comes down and gets you. So that stop loss could be $100, $150. So you got to be able to stomach that on some of those.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank
Depends
you for
on what
explaining
your
that.
style is. So at nighttime, you have a little bit more opportunity to think. During the daytime, I feel like you have to really focus on your mechanics. You have to really just be diligent about what you see and being patient and stuff like that. So it's an interesting. It's very different during the day than it is at night. But I mean, I'll wait for a good setup and take it. But you won't catch me scalping, 1 or 2 candles without having a good setup during the day. You're out of your mind.
Nice.
And that's because the volume is lower, Ange? Is that why?
During the day?
Yeah.
During the day, the volume is quadrupled times 10. It's ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at night it's a lot lower.
Okay.
What's up,
I
Gilly?
haven't played around enough.
You talking about futures?
Yes.
I got chopped up a million times. It's easy to get chopped up.
Yeah.
Why? Because of the volume, right?
Yeah, it's just all over the place. I was on the 1 minute or even like a 30-second, and it's just chasing your tail. But I think I don't know. I haven't traded as much as you guys, but I think I got it into like a 2 minute and it'd slow it down a little bit. But it's just like win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. Like, fuck you. You know? Like, you really gotta, I don't know. You gotta snatch it. You need some momentum for sure because it's weird. It picks its own direction.
Well, what kind of shit is Mark on that he's doing so well? Does he wait for like long runs or something? Like, what's he doing that's so different? Because he seems to have mastered the process some kind of way.
It comes down to mechanics.
Okay.
Truly. I mean, truly, it comes down to mechanics. And I agree 110% with them. Like, pre-market will set you up for that. And it will teach you what you need to know, and you just got to trust yourself. You got to trust that you know what you're doing. And I fell into that myself, where I for a while was like, I don't know that I can do this. Like, I just don't know if what is it, that term, the juice worth the squeeze or whatever it is.
Yeah,
like,
the juice
right.
is worth the squeeze.
I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I kind of felt like I knew what I kind of was doing, but
yeah.
It truly does come down to just knowing your mechanics and just being willing to do the work that's intended. Like, and I agree with Mark. I didn't do this at first. I didn't do the paper trading for 3-4 weeks or however long it was before I hopped in. I hopped in feet first, which might have been a red flag. It should have been a red flag for me. I should have known better, but it's okay. Like, it's a learning experience. I didn't tear my face off too much. I mean, I definitely took some blows, but like, it wasn't anything that I thought that I couldn't, handle or anything like that. But
right.
You'll definitely humble yourself a little bit if you think I got it at this and the hot stocks. I can jump into futures and it's going to be great, right? Without having like the lessons to learn along the way.
Yeah.
But
it happens. It can happen to anybody. You know what I mean? And like you said, Mark did 3 solid weeks of just getting in and out. Because remember, he was doing that turbo key thing with Nate. Yeah. And that right there, that time when he was doing that got his scalp game up. Yeah. So all he had to do was revert back to that, and it was muscle memory probably for him at that point.
And Mark's really good at charting. I mean, he's really really good at explaining what he's charting as it's happening. He's just really good at it. And his temperament's, he's always calm, collected, and on point all the time. He's just got a gift.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that's awesome.
He's using his trading view indicators for sure. And then I don't know if he's like scalping off the 9 and stuff like that too or not. But I don't know. I haven't been in futures for a little while, but he's just good. I mean, you jump him into the regular market, he's good there too. So I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. He's got a gift.
Yes, for sure.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. Yeah, and his charting is really good. Like, that's one of I learned how to chart from him, like when I first started. Like, coming into the pre-market, that's how I learned how to do what I've been able to do. And so I've always taken that into account. But I also learned real fast that there's such thing as overcharting. So.
Right.
Oh,
but
really?
Again, about this gift thing, though, it takes time. It's not like, you unwrap it and it's ready. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no. Mark has put in hours and hours and hours.
That's right.
And yeah, he's done the work, like,
yep.
Because he enjoys it. He loves it. You can tell he does. And
he became a teacher.
Do what?
Yeah.
He became the teacher.
And that you have to understand it, and you have to be able to explain it in multiple ways in order to teach it, and you have to know it inside and out.
Yeah.
So Mark
I feel like I got to watch.
He's very patient, Dawn.
For sure.
Yeah, he is.
What's up?
Mark is so patient.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I got lucky. I got to watch the last 3 or 4 months of Mark really I remember him saying, "Oh, I lost a few $100s today."
Why
he was all pissed off.
Why did I get called out there?
Because you said he wasn't patient the other day. You were like, no, he's not.
No, because he's not. He's patient with that. But if Mark, I'm gonna call his ass out. He knows that. I already said that. When Mark's explaining something, Mark will get short real quick because he don't have time for that repeating shit. He hates.
That's right. Yeah.
That's Mark.
It's like, as I said 5 minutes and 26 seconds ago. I'll repeat it again. And I'm going to play the morning song while I do it.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. You know, Mark is that's when he elevates that voice, you know, make sure you he will get your ass. But I love the fact that he is honed in on this. I'm so proud of him because I feel like he found his niche and he was looking for that. And yeah, that's good. That is really, really good. Yeah. I'd like to see if Nate got over there, I'd love to see them go at it.
Wouldn't that be awesome? He showed up for a little while today.
Did he?
I had to leave and stuff to go take care of some stuff, but yeah, he popped in as I was getting ready to leave because I helped. I talked to the group today a bit about like the psychology of just the stuff that I've been through this last few months and stuff like that to kind of break it down a little bit more for people and just to be able to be a little bit more relatable for them to know that we are all human, right? And you know, and what it took for me to get out of the shit show that I created for myself.
It's easy to get there.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But that is being vulnerable, and that's what
that
it
is. I mean, that is so honest.
It's real, you know.
Yeah.
If it were easy, it'd be your mom. No kidding. Everybody'd be doing it, you know.
That was awesome. Nice one.
But everybody would be doing it. So
yeah, it's true.
It's not easy. You know,
shout out to you, Ange, for also being transparent too
and vulnerable.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, it's such an important thing, right? And like I said in the call today, like I'm not one to sit back and ask for help. I'm not like that. I'm really just really too much of a strong-willed person to want to do that. But I also knew that you know it takes having the right people in your circle. You know, like I have my like outside of, you know, being in ADT, like I have a circle, right? But that circle doesn't necessarily understand what it's like to be in a trading environment like this. Only people that are a part of this day in and day out understand what we go through from the time we pop in here to the time we like log out of here and stuff like that.
Absolutely true.
It's so important to surround yourself with people that you can go to and say, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. Listen, I mean, no matter what happens, I've got you guys to talk to about it because no one else in my life that I've ever known could even begin to understand what I would be asking about for all the reasons we ask, right? So it's just amazing.
I love the fact that Jen is actually taking, you know, getting into it because I'll be like, God damn it, that went against me. She said, well, did it go under the 9? And I'm like, listen.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
So
She's
cool.
Like, did it go under the 9? You know what I mean? You know, you should probably have gotten out of it. So she's picking up on it and she's getting it. So
that's awesome.
She's doing it from afar. So I know that once she finally gets into it and start paper trade, I'm trying to get her to understand that, you paper trade and start with stocks in the morning. Start with the shares. Don't go into options. Don't go into nothing else. I'm trying to get her to start the right way. So,
Dawn, with both of you together, if you've ever taken any kind of leadership courses or anything like that, like 1 + 1 = 3. With the two of you together, you're going to kick some ass.
Yeah. You know, and we have a healthy competition in that too. I can see us running back and forth. Like, I just made like blah, blah, blah on such and such. Well, I actually, you know, I can already see how we're going to be. It's going to be cool. You know,
the emotional support is going to be so amazing for you, you know, for you both. You can really, talk to someone about this stuff. Because even
we
though, like I
do.
just said, I appreciate the group and everybody in it for all those reasons, but it's not face to face. I'm not actually with you in a room saying, "Hey, what do you think about what this happened today?" So yeah,
Right.
good. That's going to be awesome, Dawn. So
And
happy for you.
I'm excited.
You can straight up call them out on their bullshit, and they can call you out on yours. That I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what, Gilly?
Double
I'll
top
be
my
devil's
ass.
advocate on that.
Yep.
My husband and I's desks are side by side. Okay, I wish
Hell
I had
yeah.
my own room. Like
Good.
I appreciate, Dawn, that y'all aren't in the same office. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or dining room in my case. But like, and he'll be like, "Why'd you get in that?" Shut the fuck. Like, I literally don't worry about me. And then I'll be like, "Why didn't you get in that?" You know what I mean? Like, and so it's not
Oh my
always
God, that's
healthy,
awesome.
Gilly. It's not always healthy. But
Oh, she's already doing some of that. She'll come in, right? And she'll look and she'll be like, "Well, should you be staying in that?" I'm like, "Honey, there's nothing telling me to get out of it. See, look at this right here. See that? There's nothing telling me." Or she'll be like, "Well, why'd you get out of it?" Because it was going against me, It's like she's already kind of starting that, like, "Well, are you sure?" And I'm like, yeah, but
Well, you'll teach
I
her.
know.
oh,
You'll show her.
yeah.
Well,
She'll
and
learn.
like, but then there'll be times where, like, the kids are like, asking me for something or asking him for something. And he's in a trade. I'm like, y'all, I got you, or whatever, like vice versa. So that's really helpful as far as like the bounce off of each other. But let both of us be in a trade. We're like, shut up, don't let him. I don't know who it was yesterday on the Zoom that had their mic open that was like, "Why are you walking around so loud?" I was like, I don't know if he's talking to a dog or kid, but I feel him
Right.
100%.
Well, we're gonna
Yeah,
give
I
her a
remember
Weeble
that.
account. She's got a Robinhood, but she doesn't even use it. She's had it for years, but we're gonna get her set up with Weeble this week. So she can kind of start practicing and maybe doing some of the smaller stocks and doing low position sizes, just starting out doing some paper trading and then maybe taking 1 or 2 shares. So I'll keep you guys posted. We'll keep you posted. She'll be in the chat. So
binge watch all them videos. That's all she needs to do. I mean, you have access to every damn thing ever made.
So does she.
And just watch forever.
She's been doing that. Yep.
If you watch Chinese enough, pretty soon you're gonna, understand what the hell it even.
Right.
That's right, man. That's exactly right. Damn it.
You got the keys to the kingdom, and she can share those keys. So yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, and Coach, shout out to Coach. That was amazing of him to do that. And that's just, we're set up for success. So we're just gonna take advantage of that. You know what I mean?
I hope she turns out better than you.
Shut the
whatever, man. If she's gonna do the same thing, you should be
encouraging
her.
She can kick you off the show, right?
I don't care, huh?
Just leave Winston, but you might have to go. Like, I mean,
you know what?
Who cares, man? Just teamwork,
honestly, if she can do it better than I did it, I would love that because I had a jacked up ass journey, and we don't need to be going down that losing money road twice. We just got doing that dumb shit for almost 2 years. She does not need to do that. We can't go
like I said, Dawn, I feel bad for these new people because every one of us goes through the same bullshit. And it just sucks.
Well, and the other thing is, Dawn, you have so many other hats like that you're wearing. So if she can make the money, you can do all the other hats.
No problem with that. I'm like, my ass. Seriously, if you take off and you're like an Ange and you get it right off the go, fucking for it. Good. Not only can we use the money, but I mean, I'll be like her biggest cheerleader.
She said in the chat, she's going to be the first vegan millionaire.
Awesome.
Yep. And I'm always her cheerleader. Yeah.
Jay said it took him 3 months. I can't tell by the picture, but I think it's a male. To understand just the lingo that y'all use to trade. And that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like learning a foreign language and going to English 1, and then you want to be already in the internship. That's not how it works. Like, you have got to do the time. And And those of us that did it the other way, we are here to tell you. I mean,
Yeah.
That ain't it.
Ain't gonna work.
It don't work.
That's the reason colleges are set up the way they are. There's prerequisites to your master or to your major.
You just like
classes.
that word prerequisite.
Yes.
Well, Don,
For
I hope
real,
you guys
though.
kick ass together. I really do.
I do too, Gilly. I'm pretty sure we will. We'll push each other and we'll help each other and be the support, you know. So and the two of us together in this group, trust you me, you think I'm always preaching positivity and stuff. She's also going to be doing that. So,
Good.
you know, we need a lot of people like that in here. So,
Yep.
yeah.
That's what's going to be awesome is you can support each other at all those moments of, that kind of sucks. Oh, don't worry. You know, oh man, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
You're lucky.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
And y'all have in other businesses, and this is a business. So
yeah,
you got
man.
this.
You know, we had a successful business together for 12
Right.
years. This is just going to be another facet of that. I'm like, as it turns out, that business was a stepping stone for us, you know, because we're about to enter the big show here. So
Damn
I've
right.
already started the ball rolling, and you come on in and let's kick ass. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I'm stoked.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to go ahead and cut it here, gang, so I can go ahead and get something on my stomach because it's about growling now. So I'm sure you guys want to get something to eat or get to your families. Thanks for coming on and hanging out. I appreciate
Good
all.
night.
Yeah, for sure.
And yes, Ange, that is what Paul is saying. And Jay wants to know why he can't just get the diploma, and he's laughing about it. But for real. All right. And sorry, Paul, for answering for you, but for real though.
Have a good night, you guys.
Take care, everyone.
See you in the morning.
Billy.
See you tomorrow.
All you guys. I'm going to end with Coach's rules. Everybody have a fantastic night. See you guys in the pre-market. Everybody down in the chat. Love your faces.
Love you.
Please follow the rules. Nobody go rogue. Some of the rules that we have to and live and die by in here is do not lose more than 1 to 3% of your total account value in any given day. Make sure you have stop losses on each and every trade, regardless of shares and or options. Make sure you guys are practicing small base hits. Don't go for home runs. Allow the runners to run and stop out the losers. If you're a new trader, make sure you are paper trading using a simulated trading system such as Webull or some of the other ones that are out there. If you are an expert trader, please make sure you also are being careful the first 3 minutes and the last 8 to 9 minutes of the day. Those are the absolute most volatile times in the entire market. Also, if you're a newer trader, please don't trade in the first 30 minutes or the last hour of the day. Those are the most dangerous times.